Hello everyone and welcome to My Life in Defiance. Today we'll be going to play the episodic missions from Nolan and Arissa, as you can see right here, and we'll be talking a bit about the episodic content for this week. Now, as most of you know, this week the episodic content is a question what we do with it, because there is no episode. However, today we got this pursuit, hunting the cure, under the episode Plague, in which we had to find 3 data recorders, and some things in the world have changed, which I'll show you later if I think about it. So this leaves the question, is this a setup for next week's episode? I'm guessing that some things will start to change and eventually it will result in the new episodic missions and stuff. What we also noticed is that Paradise Territory has no weekly contract, which I don't know for sure why. The devs have left no official word on this, but Across the Badlands will launch, I believe, in 4 hours, so we'll hear it then, I guess. So in the meantime, we'll just start the episodic content, and while we are driving there, I'll just replay the data recorders which I have collected earlier today. Enjoy the data recorders.
Your name?
Douglas Rivers.
I have heard that same cough many times this morning, Mr. Rivers. When did this begin?
Yesterday, I was supposed to leave on a caravan east with my sister Charlie and some of our friends. I also feel like a big chunk of arcfall landed on my head.
Mr. Rivers, have you had any contact with any Arathians in the last few days?
Most of our caravan is Arathians. Charlie's working on an oral history of the world with them.
I have never seen this firsthand, but I do believe I know what is ailing you and the others. Please take a seat outside, Mr. Rivers. A nurse will be right with you. Viral hemorrhagic fever. The Irath flu. This is alarming.
So let's also start the second one.
Cooper, Ara, thank you for meeting with me. What is it, Aaron? We have a medical emergency upon us. This morning alone, I have had 11 human patients with the same flu-like symptoms.
I heard there's a bug going around. What's the problem?
I would classify this as a dangerous human plague, Lawkeeper. A plague? Explain. I have a patient in stage 3 of the Irath flu. He told me that he was on a caravan with many Arathians.
Forgive my ignorance. What the hell does that have to do with anything?
It is common knowledge that Arathians are carriers of many diseases. Many that affect humans with significantly higher intensity. I believe we should quarantine all Arathians in the area until I have time to work on a vaccine. That seems a bit rash. Mr. Rivers, get back in your bed. You need rest. Mr. Rivers, no!
So, guess it's not so rash as they want us to believe. So, this is the first mission. I'll just start it now.
I'm detecting incoming arcfall debris. It's time to make some script.
So I guess that those are Nolan and Arissa. Let's just see what we have to do.
Antarctica could be right inside that arcfall.
Not if we let them claim it.
Hey, This is our arc vault. Find your... Wait, I remember you. You were on the Stratocarry. We got trouble.
Nolan,
No need to be greedy. Fine. 50-50. What do you say?
So, I guess this is our first meeting with Hellbox, or it's supposed to be.
All clear. Nice work.
If you started playing
the arc vault structure is unstable. If we
when
can
this
stand
was
our ground
active.
long enough, it'll rupture open on its own. Clear them out, and the arc
One of the advantages of doing it now is, of course, that we have weapons that are a bit better than we're used to. Especially if you play this in sequence.
We've got mutated soldiers incoming.
Target sighted!
Oh boy. Sometimes it is advantage to you to get into the drop points, spawn points of them, but you can get overwhelmed pretty quick using that method.
We got more hellbugs incoming. Our reaction within that crystal is growing out of control. Stay clear of it.
Come on, let's loot this thing before the vultures swoop in. This is fun, right? I'm sure glad you made it off that Stratocarrier. Name's Nolan. This little ray of sunshine is Arissa. We got a little job coming up. Maybe we'll be in touch.
We could use an extra pair of hands. If you're a fan of script, then meet Arissa and me at the Crater Bar.
So, for those of you who have been playing, patch 1.020 has come out. I have to admit, not everything is fixed, but they made good progress. We have a lot of things which are fixed right now. The disappearing perk still a problem, sadly, so just have to deal with it for now. But otherwise I haven't found that many bugs. And the ones which were worst after are already fixed, so I really like how fast they fix everything in here. So let's get on to the second mission.
Ah, look who it is, Arissa. She didn't think you had the balls to come. I never doubted you. Our contact is over there. Let's get this party started. Easy, pal. We have a reservation.
Let them through. Please, have a seat. My apologies for the austerity, but one can't be too careful these trying times, can they?
Of course not.
Then I hope you don't mind that I looked into your background, Mr. Nolan. One of the Defiant few, eh? There's several of you around these parts.
Yeah. A handful gone, too.
Yes. The things I've found out about you, Nolan. So many useful details. But that's what makes you good for this job. It's so much easier to trust someone who has a history so thick I can hold on to it, like the scruff on a dog's neck. You understand, right?
I do, unfortunately.
Great. So, here's what we're doing. I had a shipment coming into town on an overland, but a bunch of raider rats heisted it from me. I need to get back what they took. It's called the Libra Nova gem. It's, well, very important to me. Holds a cultural significance. If you recover it, you'll be paid quite handsomely.
Handsomely's just a word. We've always been into numbers.
90,000 script. Each. So, do we have a deal?
I believe we do.
Good. Come back here when you find it. Now, if you don't mind, I have some other business to attend to.
90,000 each? That's more than enough to get us to Antarctica.
It is. That Libera Nova gem must be a lot more valuable than he's letting on.
What do you mean?
I just mean we'd better find it fast, so we're gonna need to split up. Check out some of the raider camps, do some poking around. We'll be in touch.
So, some of you might have noticed, especially on the forums, that a lot of people who play the game tend to be annoyed at Nolan. And these missions are the reason, because apparently he cheated us out of big money. But we'll have to check it for ourselves, of course. But I have always wondered about this myself. I've seen the show, of course, and I heard a lot of people complaining about this. But this will be the first time that I really can see what happened, and maybe even get pissed off myself at him. Like I said, we'll just have to see. So, one of the nice things is that we can work on our weekly contracts at the same time, as long as they're not too much trouble. As you can see, as long as you know the weakness, most of the enemy isn't that big of a deal.
We're in raider territory.
Only when they overwhelm you.
Find Varys' gem. Nothing. This gem is not going to be easy to find.
Something tells me that none of the locations have the gem. That will be called in later for it. by Nolan and Arissa, but like I said, it allows me to complete some contracts in the meantime. So at least I get something out of it. So, for those of you wondering why I still ride around in a dune buggy, I do have some dodgers. I'll show you for a second. I do have all the special ones, so I believe these three, no, Billet Metallic, Bright White and Plum Crazy are the ones from the Paradise Challenge, the Dodge Challenger time trial. But to be honest, I really like the buggies. They're both rollers, so if you look at that, it doesn't really matter. If you look at stats, the Dodge is better at everything except the boost amount and the boost refill. But I like the handling better of the buggies. For one, they the Challengers tend to be a bit, the Dodge tend to be a bit locked, turns a bit slower and everything. And this is something I really don't like, to be honest. And as you can see, we do have a lot of emergencies on the way, and if I want to ignore them, well, you just have to drive past them. But some of the roads are really barricaded.
The gem isn't in there.
And to get through that with the Dodge is just a bit harder, because it's a bit bigger than the buggies. I do prefer them over the what they're called again. This is one of my weaknesses. I forget everything, the runners. Because from a runner you can get shot down without the vehicle getting destroyed. I mean, I get annoyed when they destroy my vehicle, but at least I can fight back after it. But when you're on a runner and they hit you hard enough, well, you're dead. So I must say I really like the fact that I can abuse that a bit, and then I can avoid some of the fights.
This is a raider camp. You better take a look around for the gem.
So let's get this.
Doesn't look like the gem is in there.
This is a dead end. Nolan wants you to meet us at the Lawkeeper's Ranch. He might know something.
Well, it's only a small trip. And while I can fast travel, I will go there by roller, so that I can let you listen to the last data recorder of this week's episodic content. And then we'll have to see what happens next.
Why are your patients attacking us?
I fear this is stage 4 of the plague. Uncontrolled rage and violence. What do we do? Can you help them? No. They will all be dead within 6 hours. But they may well kill us first.
They're innocent people. I can't just gun them down.
That may be our only course of action. Medically, there is nothing I can do to save them.
God damn it.
The gods have mercy on us.
Now what?
proper cooperation, I can work on developing a cure so no one else reaches Phase 4. I've already sent the Arc Hunter out to gather materials.
So, according to this recording, we have been sent out to gather some stuff. I'm guessing it will be the contract which they will release, and some missions. I'm also guessing that this will be something for next week, to tie in with the television show. But as normal, I can't tell for sure because, well, just about everybody got surprised by this.
Nolan's inside, with the lawkeeper.
Can't believe you named this place after the Iron Demons. Of all the names you could have picked.
Maybe I should have named it Brienne Boxer Ranch.
That's cruel. Man gets drunk and makes one mistake.
Yeah, one mistake. Half dozen times.
Desperate days, Coop. Desperate days.
No level of desperation should put any self-respecting man there.
The Arc Hunter's here. Can we go now?
This is who I was talking about, Coop. Real badass.
Yeah. You never answered my question, Nolan. What are you doing in the Bay?
Chasing the American dream. Which is why I came by. Right now, we're working for Varys.
You should stay far away from him.
Raiders stole something of his. We're just trying to get it back. Was hoping we could get your help since you're the law and all.
If Varys had an actual legal complaint, why would he hire you and not come straight to me, the man with the badge?
That's what I was wondering. Which makes me think that this property we're chasing was never his in the first place.
Meaning what? Varys isn't as much of a pushover as you may think. So whatever you have planned, you better think long and hard about it. Not just for your sake.
Crazy sons of bitches right there. You'd have fit in nicely. Let's go, kiddo. Time to roll.
Hey, be careful. Watch their back.
So, we got some more stuff. Not a bad outfit, but still not something I'm going to use for now. So I guess if you did this at the beginning of the game, or if you just started playing and you do everything as soon as you get across the content, then I'm guessing this should be your first introduction to most of the main characters. I have to admit I learned everything through main missions, and after I did that I went back and completed all the side missions. So sometimes I didn't get everything because it wasn't a side mission. And the same is true for everything that was referred to the episodic content. So we'll just have to see. Now, one thing I'm truly curious about is we are doing the rewind week this week, so that this at least means that we get the missions again. But the one thing I haven't been able to figure out is if we also get the pursuits. I know there were some pursuits with this, not exactly sure what, but I know there were. And I haven't been able to find them in the pursuits menu. So quite curious about that. but I was just planning to take the entire quest line and see if I get it then, and otherwise I will probably be looking on the forum
Jim's
for it. But
inside, as are lots of raiders. Time to earn that script.
so something tells me that this will be one of the final missions, which is fine by me, to be honest. People complain that it's not a lot, and I have to agree, on itself it's not that much. But if you take into account what else you get around it, it's quite a lot to do. And it's only weekly that they release something. It's not like
so let's find it.
Let's make this quick.
It's not like they release something new every few months, which takes a few hours. It's just every week something. Keeps you busy.
We need to clear this area of hostiles.
We should have had a plan.
I also heard a lot of people complain about them not getting enough from this game. But to be honest, oh boy, I have to disagree with those people. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect yet,
A little loud,
but which MMO is, to be honest. And it doesn't have infinite content. I mean, you have enough to do if you want to. You can be busy most of the day. But, oh boy. You have enough to do. But damn it. But then again, even if you didn't have enough to do, it took me about 150 hours to get to this point. And to be honest, I find that quite a lot for only 50 bucks. Yeah, I know a lot of you paid 60 for it, but for those of us on Steam, got a light discount, luckily. At the end I got
we'll cover you, Arc Hunter.
I got the special edition.
I've located the generators for you. Stay low.
So, like I said, I have to admit, some people really whined a lot about how little worth they got for the money, but I have managed to play quite a few hours, more than most games which also cost this much. So, compared to most games, this game doesn't really cost that much. Of course, you also have the people who compare it to things like the real popular shooter games, and I have to admit, those probably are played a lot more for the money, but I'm not really a fan of those kinds of games, and this allows you to be a bit more casual while still having more than enough to do. So I have to admit that wasn't smart. Let's see how far back we need to go. Not that far. So I guess I wasn't the only one who thought it would be smart to get over here. But let's just take this one out. This should make it easier. We will get Urissa when this is finished. Shouldn't be enough to take out the turret. Certainly help. So let's see if we can find something else in here. Usually is something when you find a room this big just for a generator. But I guess it already ran out. So, like I said, we just need to find a way to get up there. Probably need to wait until the... But looking in another direction. It's one advantage of those things, they only point...
We're all clear. Hell of a job, team.
In so many directions at once.
Me too. I have a feeling we're close to the gem. So let's move. I'll get the door. Be ready to shoot whatever's behind it.
Time to die!
That's all of them. Shoot to kill. Enemies ahead. Let's move.
Come on!
That's all.
So let's see how many more we need to fight before we can get to the interesting parts.
All clear.
I'm guessing we have to fight the boss at the end. I really like the fact that these missions tend to take you into a sort of a co-op map. Even with a boss fight at the end.
Is that the gem?
Sure is, kiddo. 90,000 each.
Stacko.
Move!
Time to die!
There's an exit ahead. We've got to get to it fast.
So, guess I just didn't get lucky. I mean, Urissa and Nolan got out alright, at least for now. Of course, we don't know what they'll do in the future. So this also allows me to test something new from the salvage matrix. This one is fully trained. Guess I have to deselect it to do anything with it. But then again, that's what I have multiple for, because this wasn't released when I got some reserve weapons. Now let's check it out. This one is fully trained. We could reset the weapon mastery points. I heard a lot of complaints about it, and to be honest, the price is pretty high. But as you can see, I have an ego rating of a little bit over 1300, and people claim that 1000 should be as high as 50,000 arc salvage. It's not that much. I have to admit it's much. I only would do it for something interesting at this price, which this one isn't. I can get these for 1k at the vendor, so at the moment I have enough for 11 or 12 of those, so no need. Like I said, it's something reserved for special things. I use this one, for example, for PvP, and I do have other assault rifles which also do quite a lot of damage, but I really like the fire one, because even if they kill me, or if they get around the corner, if I infect them with fire and I deal enough damage, then the fire will just kill them outright. On the same amount, I really like my sniper rifle with electricity, especially fighting bosses and elites. If you hit them and they get hit with electricity, they are stunned long enough for you to take a second shot without ever having to move your visor, without having them dodge. And of course I have a few orange weapons, which I'll probably will use for some time, so it's especially for those hard to find things, like but something like light machine gun. Like I said, I buy them at a vendor for 1k each, so it's not like I really need to do a lot to get them. So those aren't the ones which I will reset for now.
Keep moving, Arissa. You okay down there, Arc Hunter?
Focus, we got our own problems.
And maybe it might be interesting to use it. Like I said, I have a few oranges.
We'll cover you from up here.
I could use.
Now get the hell out of there.
Oh, nice. I could use them to train my weapons, although I probably would use other ones for them. I will probably only use it to reset masteries, which I don't like. You have a chance to get the same one the second time, but...
The door is locked. I'll need to hack it. Hold on. We've got incoming hostiles from the north.
Oh boy. This is just going to go peachy. Let's just first take out everything else. So I really only have to focus on dodging rockets.
Keep doing what you're doing. Here they come.
So that was a bit much. Then again, that's exactly why I like this weapon.
Nice work. Now, let's get the hell out of here and collect our script.
It's a bit of a gamble, seeing as you only have one shot, but it does a lot of damage close by.
We're heading back to the
So especially like those bosses.
Maybe we'll see you there.
So as long as you see, as you can get close to the boss types, it should be fine to use something like that. Of course, you also have the combat shotguns, which can shoot a lot more, but the damage is also a lot less, so it's more of those things at bosses from you have the chance to shoot once or twice, and then they just back up. Better to do it the fast way in those cases. So you hit them hard, and after that the weapon is useless until you reload. But usually you take them out in one shot or you switch back to the other weapon. Well, to be honest with that boss I normally don't do it, but if I'm out of ammo and he is down, it's the best thing you can do.
You! Where's the gem? Nolan and the girl took it, and I want it back. Immediately! Get it from him and I'll give you their share in addition to your own. I'm going to kill them. Here's some locations Nolan and the Arathian girl could be. Now find him and get that gem.
Let's check out the first locale, see if Nolan and Arissa are there.
So something tells me that we either find them at the last one, or at a completely different one after this mission. It's usually how it goes.
They're not here. Let's get to the next locale. No way, they haven't left the Bay Area already.
I'll tear you apart.
So let's check out the last site. They either are there or we'll find them later on. Don't know for sure. So for those of you who've noticed,
I don't see them. We'll have to check the next place. Oh, there's only one last place. Fingers
yes,
crossed
my
it's still there.
my footage is being a bit worse than normal, I'm afraid. It stops, I'm trying freeze frames sometimes. Sadly I can't help it, my computer is busy fighting some viruses and stuff. I noticed piggybacked on some files and mails I clicked. So sadly he's busy and I can't help it, but I just wanted to tape this content anyway.
You're too late. The gem's not here. Neither is Nolan. So go and tell that Stucky Varys that he lost. Nolan!
I got raiders all over me. If I'm not alive when you get to me, then... well, thanks for nothing.
So, the recordings should be fine, just fine next week. Oh boy, this is going wrong.
Turn those guns off.
Well, it's fun to drop in like that. Usually these camps are made to fight them heads on, and if you don't, you will get swamped. At least that's what usually happens to me, so I tend to go everything up. I tend to take over every camp using the front. So that's annoying. So you only have to redo perks a few times, which is when you reload the game or when you go into an instance. Sadly, when this happens a lot during missions, you have to re-switch everything a lot. Quite annoying. So at least that's one raider. Only have to take out the others. Well, I have to admit, normally I just use my light machine gun for just about everything. But at a really long distance, and especially in such a situation, a sniper rifle is just a bit better.
Making it out of here on our own. So move.
Oh boy, this is not good at all. Getting stuck is bad enough, but in range of one of those things, it's just plain suicidal. So this is often the most difficult part about taking down turrets, is which one you have to take out first. Sometimes they are closest, sometimes they aren't.
We don't have all day. That's a lot of gunfire. For my sake, I hope you're okay out there. You're a natural, kid.
So one of the easiest ways to just deal with turrets is just get behind them.
You're very good at breaking things. Get over here. You're gonna need me to get out of this mess. Okay, fine, we need each other.
You've done this before, haven't you?
Big mistake.
The Arc Hunter's here.
That's all of them.
Of course, nearly every time you take something out, you get some new enemies. Just have to learn to deal with it.
Look what we have here.
Oh boy. So like I said, usually the boss fights aren't that hard. Except that you get attacked by 100 different things at once. Which tend to make them harder than they really are.
Nowhere to hide.
Some help, please. Much appreciated. Taking cover! We got trouble.
So most bosses are easy enough if you know how to handle them. For example,
Orisa and me gotta get out of here while we still can. You saved my ass when you didn't have to. Appreciate it. If you ever get south to Antarctica, look us up. We'll get a drink. The gem's yours. It's worth a lot of script, but it's not worth dying over. Bring that shooter over. Want you to have that. Saved my life a couple of times, and so have you. Seems like a good fit.
We need to leave. Now.
Thank you. Before I go, tell Cooper something for me. Tell him no time to ride the line. He'll understand. Careful with that gem, kid. People will do anything to get their hands on it. And I mean anything.
and this is how you get cheated out of, well, somewhere between 90 and 270,000 script. But at least we get a nice assault rifle for it. Not bad if you ask me. Not the best either. Shoots fairly quickly, has potential damage. Like I said, I usually use them in PvP and people don't stand still for that long in PvP, so you generally have to shoot them while they are moving. And that only goes so well, so you want to do a lot of damage as soon as possible. So as far as I can see, it's that concludes the episodic missions. I thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. And I'll see you guys next time. Before I forget, if you have any questions, you can send them to mail@helldrive.com. You can leave them in the comments below. Of course, the same is true for any suggestions you may have. And I'll see you guys.